friends, my name is Shayla and today I'm here to wrap up everything that I've read so far in the month of March. I've read a decent amount and I did participate in the Backlist Readathon. So this will be a relatively long video, so I beg that you just be patient. I am going to start with the manga because there's only a little bit of manga, and then we're going to jump into the books. So first up, we have Night of the Ice Volume 1 and Prince Fairy Volume 1. I have already talked about these two in depth in another video that I did last week, so I will leave that linked for you. It's in New and Notable. Both of these series I gave 5 stars. I loved them both for different reasons. This one centers around figure skating, and this centers around the trope of a woman having to dress as a man and be a leader. And so, yes, I have a lot of detailed thoughts on these in the other video. And again, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm trying to not be too repetitive on the channel. So I will let you guys check out that video to learn more about these two. Next up, we have volume 15 of The Demon Prince of Momochi House. Now, this is the penultimate volume. There's only one more volume after this one. And this one took a turn that I was expecting, but I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it long term. So I'm really interested to see how the mangaka chooses to end this one. I'm just very intrigued. The art continues to be beautiful, and I'm at the point now where I'm very invested in the characters and their well-being. So yes, I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's going to be interesting. Next up, we have Daytime Shooting Star Volume 5. This is about the halfway point for the series, I believe. I believe it's only about 10 volumes. But this is one where we're dealing with the potential for an age gap romance with a teacher. And I have to say I'm not on board for this particular age gap. There's a fellow student that I'm more rooting for that situation. We follow a sassy teenager named Suzume who's not afraid to be herself, and I really love and admire her for that. So definitely check out this series if you haven't. The last couple of volumes have only gotten 4 stars because they've centered more on the potential romantic relationship with the teacher, and I just don't enjoy reading it as much. But I'm still invested in the series. I'm still going to continue to pick it up because, man, I want the fellow student to win in this one. Next up, we have volume 6 of Snow White with the Red Hair. We are definitely in some of my favorite parts of the anime territory. We've dealt with Shiryuki being kidnapped and how Zen and crew react to that whole situation. It's great. Many good things happen in this volume. I just saw one of my favorite panels here. Yeah, there it is. Anyways, good mushy things happen. So it's still good. I still love it. Still highly recommend the series. And then last but not least for the manga, we have Magus of the Library Volume 3. Now, this volume was particularly interesting. We are still in the middle of the librarian test for Theo, and it's amazing. I definitely love how they handled certain situations within this volume, and it talks about like differences in class and things like that. It was just so well done. I love it so much. I really enjoy the series. It is very dense, so I know a lot of people don't enjoy reading it because it's a lot of text, but I still really enjoy it, and the art is absolutely stunning throughout, and I still highly recommend the series. So yes, another 5 stars. Like, definitely check out this series. And this one was like a chunky volume, which I appreciate. We have Malcolm by S.J. West. I picked this one up on a whim because it was on Audible Escape, and I ended up really enjoying it. I'm almost finished with the next book, but we'll be talking about that in the next wrap up. But yeah, definitely enjoyed it. It's probably only really like a 3 or a 3.5 star read. I mean, it's not anything that hasn't been done before, but it's cute and I definitely enjoyed it. So yeah. All right, from there, let's dive into the books. So first up, we have Maggie's Place by Annette Hawes. This is one that centers around an elderly woman named Maggie who has some secrets, and then a mystery starts to unfold around her, and we kind of go from there. There are familial ties throughout and whatnot. I really don't want to say too much because this book is only a little over 200 pages, but I found this to be interesting. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was a good read. It was fine. It didn't stick with me like I hoped it would. Just in general, the writing's fine. Everything about it was just kind of middle of the road. It was good. It wasn't bad. I don't hate it or anything. I think I just struggled with the fact that the protagonist was an elderly woman for me. I didn't necessarily enjoy that perspective on it. I can understand how a lot of people would love this and enjoy it. This was sent to me by the author, and I greatly appreciate them sending me a copy, and I did enjoy it. And I might have just been in the wrong headspace for it, so I plan on reading it again. I'm going to add it to my rereads for 2021, spend some time away, and then revisit it and see how I do then. So, like I say, it's enjoyable. I would recommend checking it out if it sounds at all interesting to you. It all centers around Christmas as well, so it might have just been the wrong time of year for me to read this one. So maybe I'll pick it up again around Christmas time and see if that does anything to help me connect to it a little bit more. So this is one I plan on revisiting because I think I was just in the wrong headspace for it. Next up, we have Dangerous Alliance by Jenica Cohen, or Jenica Cohen? I'm not sure how you say her first name. I want to say it's Jenica. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sorry to the author if I mispronounced. But this is very much an Austen-centered romance, and it has ties and nuances to other Austen works, particularly Pride and Prejudice. And this one definitely stayed in its lane, but it was fun. I thought the characters were enjoyable. It didn't necessarily do anything new, but it was fun. So I'm giving it a 4. Like I say, it didn't do anything wrong. It gave me exactly what I was expecting. And it just didn't go that step above. I would definitely read more from this author in the future. I believe this was her debut. So if you like historical books, if you like Austen, I think you would enjoy this. Like I say, I found it to be enjoyable. The story was catchy enough that it kept me involved, so there's that for you. There's a subplot with the sister and domestic abuse. I'm going to put that out there as a caveat and a trigger because I know that might bother some people. So yes, know that that is present, and I mean, you don't actively see it, but it is mentioned pretty frequently throughout the course of the novel, so if that's going to be something that bothers you, maybe give this one a pass, but I do think it's enjoyable and worth a read. Next up, we have Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I did a whole reaction vlog to this particular book, so I will leave that linked for you to go and check out, but essentially, I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. I know there are a lot of people out there who didn't, and some people who thought it was just fine and gave it like 3 stars. It's one of those things, this isn't going to be for everybody. I think if you're a fan of Sarah J. Maas, you'll end up enjoying it. And, you know, her main 2 protagonists, the male and female, feel very familiar. So just know that going in. But I ended up really enjoying it for that exact reason. So I think it's worth it. I think it's probably one of my favorite Sarah J. Maas, just because I liked the setting and the way everything was playing out better than some of her other novels. So there's that. And Bryce, her main female protagonist, does poke fun at some of her other female characters. Bryce is a bit more modern than some of her others, so I find it enjoyable. Again, I know this one isn't going to be for everybody, but if you want full details, check out the reaction vlog. All right, so let's talk about the things that I read during the Backlist Readathon. That's how we're going to finish up this video. So first up, we're going to talk about my least favorite, and that is Topless by Tiffany Helmer. This is one that came out in 2014, but it read like it came out early 2000s. There were definitely some problematic things going on within it and some very tired tropes, in my opinion. I mean, we have a senator's daughter who buys this 67 Mustang that's red and the top goes down and everything. And because she wants some excitement in her life, because she's about to marry this douche canoe of a guy who's super boring and all those kinds of things. Like, it's just, yeah, it's interesting. There's cheating. There's all sorts of things going on within this story. Our main couple isn't the couple doing the cheating, but there's cheating going on all around them. So anyways, yeah, it just has some really tired tropes. 2 stars. I did not enjoy this. It's not going to stay in my collection. And I'm really sad about it because I liked the concept. It just wasn't forward thinking enough. Next up, we have The Islands of Chaldea by Diana Wynne Jones, finished by Ursula Jones. And this is like a 3-star. It's one of those where you can definitely tell that the original author didn't finish it. There's some things that happen within the story and within the writing that just don't land quite right. So, I mean, I appreciate her daughter going on and trying to finish it, but it just did not work for me. So, sad to say this one was kind of a miss. 3 stars. It's a little too quirky for me, honestly. So, this isn't gonna... Some people might really love this. It just wasn't for me. And it is middle grade, by the way. And even for a middle grade, it wasn't very enjoyable for me. So next up, I have 3 books related to the Maddox Brothers series by Jamie McGuire. We have Beautiful Sacrifice, in which we're following Taylor and his girlfriend Fallon. And then we have Tyler's story in Beautiful Burn with Ellison, or Ellie. And last but not least, we have A Beautiful Funeral, which follows the entire family about 9 years after these books, which are the end of the romances following the brothers. So I've done all of this for a project that I'm working on related to Jamie McGuire, so that will be coming soon on the channel. But I gave each of these 4 stars. They have their problems. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that these have their problems. But they're written in a way where those problems are challenged and challenged frequently. And so it's a lot easier for me to absorb the fact that they have problems. I mean, even in this one, we see certain couples struggling from these other Maddox Brothers books. So I think that was refreshing because it's not just sunshine and daisies and roses after that for the couples, and you see that here. So anyways, I will talk about these more at length in the other books, in the other video that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. So I'm not going to give you a ton of detail here because of that, but I did enjoy these. 4 stars to each of them, and they were my favorites of the Backlist Readathon, and isn't that sad? I'm also in the middle of a couple other books, so we will talk about those again in the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you who watch my channel. So this is YouTube. You guys know what to do. Let me know in the comments down below what you've read so far this month and you're loving. I will see you in the next video. Bye.